All right, let's get started. All right, thank you again. So we're going to get into the STAR model for interview. The S stands for situation, T, task, A, action, R, result. You guys will see the details on how this applies to our day-to-day life. It means if I interview you, in your mind mentally, you must think and say, the example you're giving to me, what is the situation? What was my task? What was the action I took in that situation? Then what was the result? Very important. Never have an interview going forward, ladies and gentlemen, without mentally preparing like 3 different STAR scenarios for yourself. Why? Let's think about it, guys, ladies. This is not rocket science. The reason anybody is trying to hire you and I is because they feel we can add value to their organization, to them, right? So because of that, it is very critical. You think in your mind and say, there was a problem. This is the way I resolved the problem. That's the bottom line. What was the situation? An example, I need a sales rep. What is my problem? We are running shortage in sales, right? In our business. What is the role of the sales rep? I want them to grow the deficit of my sales by, let's say, 10% monthly. So it's very simple to measure. All right, I need somebody that is a cybersecurity professional. Why? We've been attacked a couple of times, cyber threat within our business. What do we expect? We want the cybersecurity analyst to be constantly monitoring our threats on a weekly basis. So there's a problem, we're thinking of the result. So let's keep it simple, not overthink it, ladies and gentlemen. Think about it yourself. You're in your house, your fridge is not working. You need an electrician to come in to fix it for you. Your AC is broken. You need an AC repairman to come and fix it, right? Your car is broken. You go to the auto repair shop to get it fixed. So anyone hiring you and I is because they actually have a business need. As simple as that, nothing complex in it. Somebody has a business need, they have some issues, and they want someone to help them to fix it. In our case, we are the Mr. Mrs. Fix, all right? So mentally going forward, every one of us, I want us to be always thinking in an interview, at the minimum, have 3 STAR model ready to go for every one of us. Very important. Every one of us have 3 STAR model to go. Tonight, we'll get into 2. You guys will see a practical example of what I'm talking about. Let's go. All right, look at this. Now, this is for people that are into cybersecurity, right? We have a field we call GRC, Governance, Risk, and Compliance. We mentor people in that field and in Skillweed. It's a great field. It's focused on building policies and procedures in cybersecurity, vendor risk management, benchmarking best practices, regulations around cybersecurity, a lot of fun stuff. So for those of you in that program, for example, on this call, in an interview, somebody will ask you, all right, walk me through a typical day as a GRC analyst. That could be anything. Walk me through a typical day as an accountant. Walk me through a typical day as an IT auditor. Walk me through a typical day as a sales rep. Walk me through a typical day as a database administrator. It doesn't matter whatever your role is, whatever life is making you do. Walk me through a typical day as a project manager. It could be anybody, whatever, it makes no difference, right? Now let's talk about this particular role. Look at what the answer was. I'm going to put myself, let me play the role. Somebody asked, let me unmute someone to ask me the question, then I will play the role of answering. Let me find someone that can do that for me. Who wants to volunteer? Can somebody just raise their hand and I'll make you ask the question, then I'll answer. If you want to volunteer, can you raise your hand real quick, please? Thank you. Can somebody volunteer real quick? Thank you. All right, somebody did. Oh, okay, thank you. All right. Okay. Go ahead. Thank you, sir.
Okay. What is the typical day as a GRC analyst? Can you tell me what you do in a typical day?
Thank you so much, Mr. Yodo, for giving me the opportunity to chat with you. I'm excited about the prospect of working for your organization. So in a typical day for me, most of the time, I get to have the task of benchmarking the maturity level of my organization in terms of the cyber resilience they have. And what I do is I utilize the ISO 27001 security framework to utilize and monitor the different controls and measure it. And specifically, I was able to map the framework, identify the gaps, the action plan, and specific recommendation for the organization. The total results at the end of this project resulted in building a better cyber resilience for my organization, a better posture for 2022, and reducing our overall risk by 30%. So let me pause. So what I just did, ladies and gentlemen, is I answered the question, but mentally I kind of laid it down in layers whereby it's a sentence or, I answered the question in less than 2 minutes, but every substance needed in that question, I tackled it for the potential interviewer. Does that make sense, guys? So that's the way I want you to structure your mindset going forward now. Anytime you have an interview you're preparing for, and somebody can ask you and say, well, it doesn't matter. It does matter a lot. Sometimes it's different between not getting a call back, because one of the common things we've seen, and even it's a pet peeve, I don't like it a lot at all, really, is if I ask a question and you're just rambling, going everywhere, going round, then you'll give me the extra work to start figuring out how to bring you back to answer my question. It's frustrating, really, because I'm trying to get you to, I'm your advocate, but I'm just missing you. I'm lost, really. So make sure the way you respond in an interview, you engage me by telling me, this was the situation in my environment. This was my task. These are the actions I took, and this was the result. Let me give another example. Somebody could ask me, tell me one of your biggest accomplishments as an analyst, whatever it is. I'll tell you, well, I joined an organization that they had no tool to monitor the way projects are tracked. My task was to build a solution around how we can manage our project and track it and present to management. My action was I built a simple Excel template with specific actions for each of the tabs. And the result was we had a very good process and system to track our project. It increased our productivity, management had visibility to our project, and it became a standard for us going forward. Simple. So it could be used for anything, but listen, ladies and gentlemen, until you practice it and play around it, you would not really have that confident level to articulate it. Very important. Don't dismiss it. Don't think, well, I'm smart, I can wing it. Yes, you can wing it, but it will just delay your process of getting a job faster. Because really, I'll tell you, most people that I interview a lot of people too. My mind, I'm thinking, okay, what did he solve? What was the problem this guy solved? In my mind, that's all I care about. I want to say, okay, you solved the problem. What's the problem? If I can't figure out the problem you solved, then you make me start probing it, which you don't want to make people do, right? Because when you make me probe you, then it gets ugly. Now I'm going to start testing your knowledge, which you don't want. Let it be something that I'll say, wow, and I know this so well. I used to be a product manager. I built solution then. In product development, you need to be able to tell me, articulate how your product solved a problem. It's the same concept. You need to tell me how what you did solved a problem. Okay, let's go to the next one. The second example. Thank you so much, Brabiodun. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, sir. I'll go to the next one. Let me find someone else to. Can somebody else volunteer? Can somebody else raise their hand? Oh, Chichi. All right, Chichi, let me have you. Thank you, Chichi. All right, go ahead and ask me this question. Go ahead, Chichi. Chichi, go ahead. All right, can somebody else volunteer? I think I lost Chichi. Can somebody else raise their hands? Okay, go ahead, Chinwe. Chinwe, please go ahead and I'll muted you.
What is your biggest accomplishment?
Thank you so much, Chinwe. I pride myself in, being a team player, adding value to organization at any point in time. And one of my biggest accomplishments has been, implementing a program to help. Sorry, guys, Chiwe, can you mute this? Thank you. All right, let me take it again. The question was, what was your biggest accomplishment? So, I always start by saying, thank you. Please, ladies and gentlemen, don't let anybody put pressure on you in an interview. Take charge by just play your script. I don't care you come up to me, and some people just come in, they just want to interview, they don't even say hello to you, whatever, that's fine. But be in charge, still play your script. I would always start by saying, if I know your first name, I would have, hopefully you've done the research, right? I know your first name, I know who I'm speaking with. I would always say, thank you, Bob, thank you, Joe, thank you, Roy, thank you, Mary, for taking the time to interview with me. One of my biggest accomplishments and a pride moment for me was within my organization, I was tasked with helping to remediate certain pending vulnerabilities within my organization. These are vulnerabilities that have been around for many months. They've not been fixed. The threat is real to my organization. My task was to monitor and ensure every one of these issues are fixed and remediated between the time I started and the end of the fiscal year. And what I did was specifically, I developed a roadmap to help to track, coordinate, and organize meetings to ensure all the key stakeholders fix those issues, monitor those issues, and I use the GRC tracking tool, ServiceNow, to do the tracking of each of those tasks at any point in time. By the end of the project, I was able to reduce the remediation by 70% within second quarter, and I kept us on track to wrap it up by the end of the third quarter. And it was very significant and meaningful to my organization, that project. So let me pause. So what I did in that was, yes, and this is a common question they can ask you. Think about whatever role you're applying for and think of certain things you've done to add value within that business. It could be anything. It could be sales, audit, cyber, ServiceNow, DevOps, whatever role, it doesn't matter. It could be a financial analyst, accountant role, it doesn't matter. Think about it. Always use that model to build your story. Okay? Tonight, we're going to do something fun. We're going to practice. You can see here, practice star. Build a personal star model for yourself and share with your group. So what I'm going to do is I want us as a group, I want us to, if you don't mind, pull a paper, pen, or whatever you're comfortable with, and write a little, whatever field you are in right now, or you're aspiring to be. For some of my guys in cyber, I would challenge you, write a star for yourself, specifically to this question. The first one is, what's a typical day for you as a cyber analyst or a GRC analyst? Whatever role you're applying for. The second one you can play around is, what is your biggest accomplishment? Okay, so I'm gonna do like a quick group session for us for like 15 minutes. We work as a group and kind of just play around it, and anyone can take charge of it, so don't overthink it. If you find yourself in a group, and please, we're about 84 of us, don't quit or run away because I said you should be in a group. The idea of the group is just to have fun, make it engaging. It's part of our program. It's important because that's the way you kind of test it. You don't need to be looking for a job to leverage this. It's important for any kind of environment to find yourself. It could be for sales, pitching, whatever it is. Somebody will ask you, what's your success story? What's your story? You need to be able to give that framework to kind of guide your thinking. It's a very effective tool that the biggest guys in the world use. So let's leverage it and have fun doing it. So I'm gonna break us to a group real quick and just build a simple scenario. Somebody will take a lead in the group, use yours as an example. Other folks build a similar scenario within your group real quick. So let's do a breakout section and I'll bring us back. Then we get into some other exciting do's and don'ts. Very important. And I'll be joining each one of those groups right now. And we can have fun with it, guys. Let's make it fun. would have how many groups? We have about 84. We can do like 6 groups. And let's get started, guys. Have fun. I'll join the groups.
Next, if you want.
Lukman, you can go if you want to. You can go.
Okay, I can come in as well.
Okay.
For me, okay. For me, typical day. I'll deal more on a third-party risk management. So typical day for me is relatively managing
the IOCs. If the IOCs are malicious.
Okay, let me say something. Can I use what I do for a living for this staff? So we won't be wasting our time here.
Okay.
Yes, please do that. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Just go ahead and do that,
Okay,
and we'll work from there.
Okay, I'm going to start what I do. I'm into IT. I'm a database. I'm a DBA. So I'm going to use what happened to me at work today as a staff. So my typical day at work is I get to work, I log into my system, check my emails, make sure I check my email, check my Zoom meetings I have for today, make sure I'm up to date with my meetings. Then next thing I do, I log into my service now. When I log into my service now, what I do, that is my task. When I log into my service now, when I got to work today, I log into my service now. I found out that I had a P1 ticket, which is in production. So that is the task. So when I saw I got a P1 ticket today, which was critical. So I logged into the server to find out what caused the T1. I found out that the server was shut down. When I found out that the server was shut down, I quickly make a call to the Unix team. I sent an email to the Unix team that, hey, the server is down. I can log into the server. So the Unix team called the SAN team. The SAN team came together. We had a Zoom call. Now this is the task. Now we all had a Zoom call because I had to call the Unix team. The Unix team called the SAN team. The SAN team had a Zoom call. In our Zoom call, we started asking what caused the data server to be down. What caused it to be down?
There are 13 of us here, so.
Yeah. I know there are gurus here, so we need somebody who's going to help us.
All right, let me volunteer, guys. Hello, everybody. All right, so what I recommend, guys, can you all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what I recommend, guys, everybody can take it, and a lot of groups are just doing that. You can just turn by turn, a few people can volunteer and just give example of their, of them using star. So if you look at the second and third, the two examples I gave, use it as your guide, and you can even use your current job to develop a star. It doesn't matter. Something you're comfortable with, you can start with that. Then you can scale it as needed for yourself. Okay. All right. Let me shut up and get off your business. But that's my recommendation. You guys do it where you feel comfortable. Okay.
Thank you.
Sure. Thank you, everybody. Open up to another class. Thank you.
Users and computers are within the organizations that needed, we need to confirm they had appropriate access and to terminate and to, take out access that were not needed either by terminated employees or employees that have been transferred to other agencies within or department within the organization. So the first thing I did was to first of all understand the relationship within the Active Directory, to understand how many users are within.
Oh, I think they're bringing us together.
Yes, I see that. Okay. Did you think?
Let's keep talking. We're not back. Are we
okay.
back?
Yeah, I think we are back.
No, you guys are good. Okay. I'm just crashing your party, just listening in.
Okay.
Oh.
Good. Sorry, guys.
All right, that's okay. So first of all, I wanted to understand what the relationship within Active Directory is, to understand the numbers of users within the organization and the computers as well. So what I realized was that there were tons of people that have left the organization that still had access to critical applications and operations within the organization. So with the help of someone on my team who is the data analyst, we kind of put a script together within the analytics tools that is being used in the organization, which is ACL for Windows. And with the help of the data analysts on the team, we developed a script to be able to pull from the database that is the Active Directory database to pull the users list, and based on the data.
Hourly is just new here. Mo, you're not new, so what you got? Mo, I can't hear you. You're speaking on mute. If you're speaking at all. Ojola, Lua, Steve, not saying nothing. Sylvia is not, okay, Sylvia, sorry. Oh, I keep calling your name, sorry. All right, I think we have two brilliant suggestions so far. If all of you agree, say yes.
Yeah. That's so true.
Yeah, so
do we have any other?
Yes, like, can I say something?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is Itumeleng. Me, like my job, like before, like I'm not doing it now, but I just want to give a brief of what I was doing before. I was like a health inspector. Like my typical day will be like, I go to the office, I take my reports and see what I'm going to do for that day. If I'm going to a school, I'll go to a school to do, health surveys, like a health assessment. When I get there, I'll do my health assessment. After doing my health assessment, if as a school, I'll have to talk to the principal about my findings. What did I find? And if I'm not happy about some things that I found at the school, I'll talk to the principal that this is the area where I want you to fix. And I give them health education on like, why is it that they have to change things and do things certain way because of certain health reasons. And I give them support. And I tell them that I'll be back maybe in 30 days to come and check if they did what I asked them to do. That would be my typical day.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your biggest accomplishment?
My biggest accomplishment is that when I go back, maybe let's say, like for example, if I go back for after like let's say 30 days, like normally we give them 30 days. If I go back after 30 days, most of the time we find that because we gave them health education, they understand the importance of health and the importance of children being in a good and clean school and all that. So they'll do whatever that I said they should implement to make the school clean, or those things.
Okay.
Makes sense.
So who is going to be our team lead for the presentation? Hello?
Did you say we will present?
Are we presenting?
Yeah, I think so, because I've been in one of his classes.
Okay, let's give it to you now. Let's give it to you that have been there before. Thank you.
Yeah, because you have an idea.
You said what?
Thank you in advance.
I have an idea of what?
Yes, that there will be a presentation, like you had something like this before, and like you'll require us to have a presentation.
Okay, all right.
Thank you.
I think it's that.
Okay.
Sorry. Sorry, guys. I was just talking away on mute as always. Sorry, guys. Okay. Thank you so much, guys. Amazing job you all did. I joined a few of you guys' classes, and that was cool. A few of you were presenting and sharing, developing your own mock. A few folks also, participated using their own real life work scenario. That was great. Yemi Salau just sent us a very good documentation on interview skill. You guys can check it out in the chat on our Zoom. In the chat a link for you guys to join our YouTube page, YouTube video. Just subscribe to it so that you guys can watch all these recordings. We have quite a number of good stuff there. Join the YouTube channel. You'll see a lot of good stuff there. So if you don't mind, can we just go ahead and just join it right now? Two things. Yemi posted a link to some good STAR methodology and some behavioral stuff, really good stuff. I just took a look at it myself. Then also please join the YouTube channel also. Just, subscribe so that we can receive postings of any new thing at any point in time. All right, let's continue. Excellent. So who wants to, let's 2 or 3 people quickly volunteer, give us an example of what they talked about. In each group, can somebody just quickly raise their hands in each group? Let's quickly do that real quick. Did anybody raise their hand? Okay, Kate. Thank you, Kate. Excellent. Where is Kate? Kate, can you please, let me find you. Okay, I got it. I see you now, Kate. You can't hide from me. All right, go ahead, Kate.
Hello, everybody. So our team had 3 situational issues. So of course, we used the START method, which is situational, task, action, and result. The first issue was the phishing. We had a phishing scenario that the employees were clicking on all manner of phishing. And then our team came up with creating a phishing simulation and a phishing awareness. And then, of course, the action was having all the employee, of course, creating the phishing was the action, and then part of it also having all the employee, getting them aware with the phishing, fish notify and fish sim simulation, and then the results kind of reduce employees clicking on phishing. So, and then the second situation was cookie. The employer did not have a cookie, there was no cookie disclosure, and then that could have resulted in a lot of fines in the areas where we had to notify clients or people of what we're using with their information. So they went for that. We went for that to create a cookie policy, and then introduce the employer to it. We got a buy-in, and that saved the employer, from muddy water of lawsuits. And the third situation was we used the STAR method for conflict resolution to employees who had conflicts, so that delayed a lot of our projects. And then the action we took was bringing these 2 employees together and to resolve their issues, and then had them agree, or we found a middle ground for them. And the result was excellent work relationship, and the project was delivered in a timely manner. Thank you. What happened? Can anyone hear me?
Hear you. Excellent, Kate. Excellent. Thank you so much. We can hear you. Yeah, excellent job. Thank you, Kate. Anyone else wants to share their excellent? Let's give it up for Kate, please. Let's use our icon to, we like to clap and celebrate here, guys. So get used to us. Do it on us, okay? All right, lovely, lovely. Let's give her a round of applause. Excellent. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you. You all are awesome. Excellent job. Thank you, everybody. Okay, Valentine wants to also do the same thing. Valentine, over to you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Aki. Our team talked about our biggest accomplishment. So this was an organization that we went to that had no policies in place, that wasn't benchmarked towards anything, that had no policies in place. There were no controls, and there was nothing. It was a company that had a complete security. The entire infrastructure of the organization had to compromise security. So what we were supposed to do was to establish controls and to benchmark, to rate the maturity of the company and start. So this is a company that had basically nothing. And that was the situation, a company that had nothing but wanted us to, set it up and determine a security profile for it. So the task was developing policies, procedures, guidelines, working documents, security policies, the various policies that needed to be put in place. After doing that, we did a benchmark to know exactly where the company is, because you need to have a benchmark so that you can know how, you can relate to the benchmark to know how far the company has gone, whether it has gone forward or backward. So that was the task that we did. The activity was to integrate the policies, to enforce the policies, to find task owners, delegate responsibilities, and also to set timelines and deliverables to see if the controls that we've put in place are actually being implemented. And then finally, we did an audit, and then we observed that the policies and the controls that we set in place are working properly, and the organization's management has visibility to the security infrastructure of the company, and that the company had been properly rated as per maturity, and it is on its way towards continuous improvement. Thank you.
Excellent job, Valentine. Thank you so much. Can we give it up for Valentine real quick, everybody? We love to celebrate here, guys.
What?
Excellent job. Excellent job. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Excellent job. All right. So let me continue sharing. Normally we stick to time. That's part of our tradition here. We don't go more than 2 minutes beyond our time. So let's keep that tradition neat. All right. Let me quickly wrap up. Some elements of an effective interview, guys, or an ineffective interview. This is very important. Well, with COVID now, we all know that, well, we don't need to see people as much, but even with that, if you have a video call, please still treat it like it's considered physical appearance really now. So what I would like you to make sure you do is at any point in time, look good. It's very important. We are humans, people are visual. So make sure you wear your jacket, your suit, your pants or shirt, business casual, whatever makes you comfortable, but professional also. And another big thing that's important is always match your skill set to the position. Very important, guys. It's easy to figure it out that somebody is really not, matching their skill set to what they do. Because if you're applying for the position of, let's say, cybersecurity GRC analyst, and you're telling me about a sales job experience, then yes, it might be useful in some areas, but at that moment, I'm looking for a cyber GRC analyst. Focus on your core strength. Very important. Interviewers pick it up so quick. If I ask you to tell me about yourself, please don't tell me about your, originally from Kenya or Nigeria or Zimbabwe or from Uganda. No. It doesn't matter to me. Don't tell me, don't give me personal stories. Always in your mind, think about the professional mutual benefit we both stand to gain. Very important. That's all I care about, really. I don't know about anything else. It doesn't matter to me. So stick to that professional angle. And understand the typical problem of that industry and map it to your conversation. Don't be distracted at all because you have very little margin of seconds to connect with interviewers. In their mind, they are thinking of problems they're dealing with at that moment. So the faster you eat those problems, the more I feel connected to you that, oh, you know what, this guy can handle it for us. That's what you want to get to at any interview, okay? Lack of courtesy, ill-mannered, of course, people will know if you are courteous or not, very important. How will I know? If you start bitching about your previous employers, and I've seen people do this, you'll be surprised how many people do it. They might start saying, well, you know, my former place, I didn't like the way they treated people. I didn't, you know, the smartest thing is always give your previous employers credit. Speak so nice about them. Speak so nice that they'll be wondering, then why did you leave them? Always say, you know, you know, my previous employers or my previous role, amazing human being, very, very communicative, very effective team. I love the team so much. At this phase in my career, however, I'm just ready to move to a different culture, or I would like to explore a different opportunity. So you're not bitching, you're giving them a lot of credit. You're even close to borderline admiring and loving them so much. But at the same time, it's your career. You want to grow and expand and woo these new guys and say, because your company is very well known in this area, I want to explore this field. I want to grow in this area. Just make everybody happy, right? Lack of enthusiasm, very important. Guys, this number 4 to me is the most important in my opinion. I want someone that would be excited to work with me, period. Because I'm a mentor, I'm an instructor, I teach too. I can train anybody, anything, it doesn't matter. If you are willing, if you are dedicated and focused, I know I can mentor you and I can teach you to be successful. That I know in my team. Easy. Of course, it will require time, dedication, focus, but we'd always do that. What I cannot teach is the intangibles, your personality, your character, and your energy. I like people that when I get to work, you know, my team, get used to it. If you on my calls, you'll see me say things like, today's the best day ever. Guess what? That best day ever I just said, I'm probably dealing with a lot of crap. But it's the way I deal with my energy. That's the way I must start my day with that. It's the best day ever. It's the best situation I'll be in. And you know what? Life aligns with those energy. So you need to align your day with energy. That's all I'm driving at. So, you know, put the energy in your day, put the excitement in your day, and have fun doing it. All right, then what should we do? What are the successful things we've done? Please review your resume. One of the biggest disasters I've seen is somebody asks you about a role on your resume, and you say, where is it? I don't think I wrote that in my resume. They say, well, hello, sir, page 2. You know, that is crazy stuff. So make sure you know your resume. Ladies and gentlemen, please make sure line by line, understand what you've written on your resume. Nothing should catch you off guard. Number 2, I think it's important. I know we all know this, but it's so important. You need to research about the company. I would ask you, you know, if you come to my organization and say, what do you know about Skillweed? What excites you about our organization? What is your excitement? What's your story about it? You know, you need to know what. I'll ask about the role. What's your understanding of the role? You know, and it's okay. Think about the question. If a question is not clear, just ask, do you mind? Can you please repeat that question? People will repeat it, and they will sometimes rephrase it in a way that it will make sense to you. All right. And one thing I always throw out, everybody, never be shy to say, when you're doing an interview, never be shy to say, do you have any questions? Can we type it together? Let's do it. That's our last assignment tonight. Of course, I've said utilize that. Can we type that together? Can we type that? Everybody on this call, please type, do you have any questions? So while you're doing your interview, always type, do you have any questions? Now, let me tell you guys, this is one of the biggest tricks in the fraud in the world you guys never know about in interviewing. Most time we think if you say, do you have any question, they will bombard you with question. No, it's a reverse psychology. Anytime you pause during an interview, you're talking and you pause and say, do you have any questions? Believe it or not, people don't want to sound stupid and ignorant. Many times they will say no. 90% of the time they will tell you no. Continue. So what you've done is that you've taken control and ownership, you know? And I like that. Somebody said for every 4 minutes or every 2 minutes, in your mind, gauge it every 2 minutes of conversation, pause and say, do you have any questions? Yeah, hey, Bob, do you have any questions? They will say, oh, no. When you say that, it's a switch of authority. You've taken over. I'm asking, do you have any questions? I'm the one, this is my show. Do you have any questions for me? You pause. And the good thing is that many times nobody's going to ask you a question. They just say, hey, I don't want to sound like the fool here. Just keep going, you know? So that works all the time. It's magical, guys. Hope that was helpful. And finally, I think we did our job tonight. We said be prepared to utilize the STAR method. Always use the STAR method. Thank you, Yemi. Yemi said taking control of the interview. I love that. So let that be mentally yours. And don't forget, you are also interviewing them. All right. If this was helpful, I like to take credit too. Give me a thumbs up too. You can be, don't be mad at me. All right. Okay, let's see what else we have here. Yeah, this is the reference. Did some good job here referencing. Thank you, everybody. You guys are super awesome. 9:02. Thanks for giving me 2 minutes. I can take applause too. I'll take it. All right. No 18 here. I'll take applause. All right, guys. But with all my heart, thank you, everybody. Enjoy the evening. Best week ever. We'll talk soon. Bye, guys.